Sonic 4, a 2D adventure so big they split it in half. Hey, nothing wrong with that. It did that with the third one to bring us Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles, both awesome games. Actually, they've kind of emulated the lock-on feature of Sonic & Knuckles by giving you bonus material when you get both installments. So, how was episode 1? Well, it looked gorgeous and gave me a good nostalgia fix, but a few frustrating moments and some wonky physics kinda hampered the experience for me. Now, episode 2 has arrived, with most of the kinks ironed out, and the return of Sonic's BFF, Tails the Fox. Here's something that might surprise you. Tails is actually useful, as the game introduces new tag actions. First, you've got the trademark helicopter move, where Tails flies and gives Sonic a lift. It can be activated any time to search for shortcuts or to save yourself mid-plummet. Now that's handy. The other move has them rolling about on the ground together, insert gay joke here, good for knocking down walls and baddies. Sometimes you'll need to use your flying move to navigate obstacles. Ugh, those are the worst, especially when you're underwater or have a bloody sandstorm blasting you in the face. That and Tails has a habit of bashing his napper and dropping Sonic on a bed of spikes. Thanks, pal. Thanks a lot. Like episode 1, the levels look fantastic, but are a tad lacking in originality. It's a pity because some of the new concepts, like the roller coaster tracks in White Park Zone, work really well. You'll see bits of Aquatic Ruin, Ice Cap, Carnival Nights, Oil Ocean, Sandopolis and more. On the whole, they're at best hybrids and at worst rehashes. And is it just me, or are there a lot of water levels in this game? I remember when those used to be a little break from the norm. Now I'm spending more time in the water than Echo the fucking dolphin. The Robotnik fights are a bit different this time. Episode 1 had variations on the old bosses, but Robotnik starts episode 2 with a big fake out, which, to be honest, was a bit underwhelming. There are some interesting new badniks though, with some of them creating new obstacles and timing puzzles. I like the dung beetles especially, they throw balls of poop. Now if there's one thing I look forward to in a Sonic game, it's the music. I know it can be kinda cheesy, but it always adds something special to the game. This is not the best, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what it is, none of it's bad, but none of it's all that memorable either. It just seems a bit phoned in, disappointing because we know they can do much better. Occasionally you'll hear wee snippets of the old themes, and it just hits home how much you'd rather be listening to those. The special stages are polished versions of the old half-pipe ones, with a few new features added to keep them fresh. What can I say? I loved them in Sonic 2, and I love them here. For me, they've got the perfect balance between nostalgia, innovation, challenge and fun. I haven't tried co-op mode yet, cause to be honest I can't see it bringing much to the game, and also I've got no pals. However, I'd make an exception for the special stages, just so that daft wee fox stops losing more rings. If you've bought parts 1 and 2 on the same platform, you also get Episode Metal, a bonus game starring Metal Sonic. You've got 4 new levels, based on the zones from episode 1, which were based off the zones from Sonic 1 and 2. Deja vu much? Anyway, the levels here feel closer to the originals. I enjoyed playing them, even if they did seem to be over a bit too quickly. Metal Sonic doesn't play that much differently, really. He has no moves of his own and just feels a bit heavier and slower. Yeah, 'cause that's what you want from a Sonic game. As for providing the missing link in the story, what story? It's a 2D Sonic game for crying out loud. You know, get rings, bash robots, try not to get squished for Christ's sake. There you go, Sonic team. I've just written the synopsis for Sonic 5. I will be expecting my check in the mail. So that's Sonic 4 Episode 2 for you. A decent 2D Sonic outing, nothing groundbreaking, but it improves on the first part. So what's with all the negative reviews it's been getting from the same folk who praised Episode 1? Did the novelty wear off somewhere in between? I think the problem is that the game doesn't know what it wants to be. If it's a new adventure, then why keep harking back to the old levels? Were they pandering to the retro fans, or were they just running short on ideas? Episode 2 doesn't feel like a continuation, nor does it bring a sense of completion. It feels like a partial reimagining of the Mega Drive era, which is a bit redundant as Sonic Generations did this really well and is still fresh in the mind. Maybe they should have gone the whole hog, no pun intended, and just remade the first game. Hell, I'd have bought it, and I would have been psyched to see the sequels. Somehow I don't see it happening now, as we seem to have hit saturation point with retro Sonic titles, and I'm not sure we've got the energy to get hyped all over again. I don't know, maybe there's a sense of retro fatigue kicking in, and we're finally becoming immune to the nostalgia bug. I don't know if this is specific to the Sonic franchise or gaming in general. Recently, we've had a tidal wave of games designed to rekindle our love for old Mr. Needlemouse. We've had Sonic 4 Episodes 1 and 2, Sonic Generations, the cancelled Sonic 2 HD remake, and the re-release of Sonic CD, which many of us were playing for the first time. I haven't even mentioned all the classic collections that Sega keep on making and fanjos like me keep on buying. With all that going on, it's hard for one title to stand out, and Episode 2 seems to suffer as a result. If nothing else, it's made me think of how much I love these old platformers. So later on I might fire up one of the 18 billion copies of those that I own and have a wee go for old time's sake.
What do you mean you've got nae pals?
Nae pals that like Sonic.
Yeah.
Nae pals that like Sonic that aren't Richie.